Hey everyone, it's Reason here.
And Vice.
Yep, and Vice, to bring you a little message before our meeting. I would like to remind you that these are our personal opinions and as such will differ from yours. We do not claim any expertise.
Except me.
Except Vice. We are simply expressing our ideas and feelings as fellow fans and readers. Furthermore, we would love to see you point out your own ideas and feelings below.
Do we really?
Well, I certainly do. So long as you keep it, and I cannot stress this enough, civil in the comment section.
Or else I get a hold of you, and we don't want that.
We really don't want that. I can't keep paying bail, guys. Now, without further delay, please enjoy the following episode of the AniVid Fanfiction Book Club.
Let's get going.
Hello everyone, I'm Reason, and I'm that rainbow after that malicious storm that possibly destroyed your favorite flower in your garden.
And I'm Vice. I'm the lightning that came down from it and caused the forest fire.
Oh, okay, yeah, welcome to the AniVid Fanfiction Book Club.
I just destroyed you in one sentence.
Okay, well, we are one day late. There was technical difficulties that caused a few problems, but here we are now. If you watch our other podcast series, which I will leave a link down below, you will be able to check that out and see what happened possibly. Now, without further ado, let us start with the actual book club. We last time reviewed The Child of Mew by Lucario Master 41. It was a Pokemon fan fiction. It was like 43 parts, but in reality it was actually closer to 60 or 70 chapters. They just combined them. And as you who have watched our last episode probably could tell, yeah, we needed a month to finish it. Well, I certainly did. Unfortunately, with Vice working a lot more than I do, she was not able to completely finish it, so I will be taking a larger, voice in this episode. And there's another reason also, which Vice will get into, because I know this is a thing that Vice has been wanting to talk about for a while now.
On what part?
About the thing about canon.
Yeah. Couple reasons on why I didn't really. I could tell you that I fully read to chapter 7, and then I skimmed and skipped and all that stuff within there.
And we will get to why. I, on the other hand, did read everything, and I should mention that this will be a very it will seem like I'm speeding through everything because it was just that long of a story, and I don't want to sit here for 2 hours just talking and talking and talking. So we will start off on what we thought was going to happen, and we thought it was going to be something along the lines that Ash was going to go on his journey, and Mew was going to be hunting him down, and being a total creep on that. Turns out we were kind of wrong on that. It was Ash still goes on his journey, but Mew was actually beside him. But to go back, in this universe, Ash's parents were killed by, if I'm not mistaken, they were wild Pokemon. Spearow, I thought it was Spearow.
Wild Spearow.
Wild, crazy Spearow. And Mew was happened to be flying by and heard Dahlia, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Mew heard Dahlia say, "Please, won't someone watch my Ashy?" Something like that. Basically, Mew heard this and Mew was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that for you. And
that sounds like fun. Let's go and do that.
And yeah, Mew is scary. Mew is legit really scary.
Terrifying.
And I was actually going to go into this about Mew. A development about Mew is that I know that I was reading some comments. People thought that, oh my god, what is wrong? What is Mew's problem? What are you trying to kill this kid? But it's actually very easy to believe that Mew could have this grandiose syndrome kind of thing where she thinks she's so high and mighty above things that she's almost above the laws of just natural laws of things. And it makes sense.
Yeah, natural laws of physics and stuff like that. Plus, whenever you normally have legendary Pokemon, you do have some legendary Pokemon are just like, I don't need you, as you see in like the movies and stuff like that.
And it was Mew. Honestly, after reading, I honestly cannot be sure whether or not Mew actually loves Ash. I mean, sometimes it seems like that, and other times it seems like Ash is just another plaything. And it's if you read the story, I want you to comment down below about what you think of Mew. Mew is I think that the writer developed Mew in a very interesting way. That it was there was always this what's the word? There was always like this air of just something was just a little bit off about her, and it was really well done. It was just thinking about it now is just not. It's a scary thing because it's like you see moments of when Mew is capable of loving, but then you can see what she can do at just the drop of a hat, and there's just so much just going under that surface that's just wow. All right, Ash, you get to deal with that mess.
That's your Meemaw. Have fun with that.
And this Mew likes to play Mew games, which are like, oh my god, what the hell?
Well, being the DNA Pokemon, I can get how she's turned Ash into a Rattata before.
She's turned Ash into like almost everything to just understand. Ash has been turned into berries to be eaten. He's been turned into plushies to be played with. Like, literally Ash has gone through an actual, okay, not actual meat grinder, but he might as well have gone through a meat grinder. You know what?
With all the games that you put him through.
But Ash at the age of 10 ends up going on his Pokemon adventure because he wants to escape Mew because Mew is like scary and he doesn't want to deal with this anymore. And
plus Mew is gonna turn him into her actual child, and that terrified Ash.
At the beginning, it certainly does. Mew, see, like, he runs off in Pallet Town, because that's where he still lives. Well, he actually lives, like, in a pocket dimension in Pallet Town. It's Mew. It's Mew doing things. And he goes on to get the Pokemon, and as in canon, all three are missing. He gets Pikachu, but one thing I actually liked that changed was, well, two things. One, that Ash can communicate with Pokemon, which makes sense because he was surrounded by Mew and raised up to be that way, so that makes sense. But also that he gives all his Pokemon nicknames.
Which is different from the canon.
And really, you really see, I mean, it's really cool. His name is Storm, and he's just as awful, just as rude, just as bitchy, even more so because you can actually understand what he's saying at this point.
Well, I'm not all too much of a fan of Sellout.
Vice feels some kind of way about Pikachu, just in general.
Mm. I'm not a Pikachu person.
You're a what person?
Let's go none of your business.
Okay.
How about that?
Now, to speed along through for quite a couple chapters, it actually goes, according to canon, with how he meets Brock. He meets Misty, but he gets a Rattata that he actually knew from being like a Rattata as Mew made him, and she joins the party. Oh no, she wants to join the party, but then they get separated. She comes back later, and she becomes part of the team. Her nickname is Remy, which I was like, Ash never did get a Rattata, did he?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so that
he
was
got
cool.
Eradicate, but that was because he traded it. He traded Butterfree for the Eradicate.
And we will, and so what happens is, like, there's a lot of things, like, there's little things that get changed, but it's for sure going along the normal path of, the original series. Let's see. Let me get my notes. One thing we actually see that the author does is that, we see, they have, like, special little chapters that are about the team that ends up joining. We see a chapter devoted to who was it? In the beginning. He gets a Pidgey, names it Gale. He gets a Metapod. Well, he gets a what's it called?
Caterpie.
He gets a Caterpie and names it Flutter. And it's like, why are you naming it Flutter? Well, I'm kind of looking to the future here, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I first got Pokemon, I nicknamed, like, everything, but I didn't think ahead, so I had a Caterpie, no, I had a Butterfree named Wormy, and I was like, oh, that's a thing, cool, that makes sense.
I've never nicknamed my Pokemon. I'm not one to nickname Pokemon.
I used to be, but then I was just like, I can't think of anything that I like in the moment. Like, I'm sitting for like 5 minutes while I catch this Pokemon. I'm like, oh, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Really, for the longest time, it sticks to canon with little additions here and there. It doesn't really get, like, crazy different until, if I'm not mistaken, around chapters 25-ish. That's where really things start to get crazy. Like, there's a whole chapter devoted to Ash going to another dimension with a Ghastly to free a ghost. And she's like, it's actually the ghost of Maiden's Peak. Do you remember that episode?
Oh,
he actually has to go into
that
a whole other
episode.
dimension to release her, and we actually find out that he has to release her lover who was sealed away. And then this is like skipping ahead to a bunch of new chapters later. They actually go back in time to that time when they actually meet the original war, the warrior who was sent back to war 2,000 years ago from that maiden of the maiden of the ghost of the what's it called? Well, basically, yes. This author went and they were like, I like
the
this.
the widow of the peak or something like that.
So they went back in time, which is, obviously not in canon at all. Like, towards the last third of the story, everything is completely different. And I really like the direction they were going with it. In that, we see that one of my favorite moments, because I'm going to be skipping around because this was like, there's so much that's sticking in my head and coming out all at once that it's hard for me to keep it all in order. One thing I really liked was the gym battle against Sabrina. Now, in the original series, it was pretty crazy for a gym battle, but then this author went like next level with it. They basically, Sabrina was like in like the mind, I think they called it Mindscape or something like that. And she created like every battle would have something additional to it. Like, there was one battle where there was a volcano on the side, and if Ash didn't beat the Pokemon before the volcano erupted, Ash would lose. What's really annoying is that the volcano erupted a second right before he knocked out her Pokemon, and he still lost that battle. Then there's... Oh, did you get to Eon yet?
No?
No? Well, Ash gets a spiky-haired Eevee. She's awesome. Because it's funny because of the fact that she was digging in the sand, if I'm not mistaken, and Ash was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And then she's like, she was all scared and nervous about a human, and then they talk, and she's like, "Oh my god, you can talk to Pokemon," and it's like, "Yeah, he's the child of Mew," and everybody, and then he was like, "Oh my god, you're the child of Mew!" Like, literally every time a Pokemon would find out that he's the child of Mew, everybody would be like, literally, this is like Jesus standing before me.
Hold on, let me kiss your ass.
Literally, that's one of the things that Ash wanted to avoid, was like everyone knowing, like, hey, I want them to respect me for me. And
yeah, not that I'm the child.
And one thing the author... Oh, wait, back to the Sabrina battle before I go on to that. There's actually a humongous Mario Kart reference in that battle. Eon the Eevee has to race against a freaking Espeon on the Rainbow Road.
Oh god.
And there are even random little blocks that they hit that let them have a random move.
Oh god.
Everybody
Okay.
was crapping on that, and I thought this was amazing. I loved that. I don't know why they were so angry about it. Let's see.
That actually sounds pretty awesome.
It was really fun.
Okay, so in the story again because I got to like chapter 7, then I got swamped with like so much shit to do that I had to skim and skip a lot of chapters. So, something that popped up into my head was Ash's team. Like, because in the canon, he has a Caterpie, he has a Pidgey, he has Pikachu, he has Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Krabby,
There is no Krabby
Muk,
in this story.
Tauros, and all that different stuff like that. Like, does he nickname, or does he actually get the Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle like in the canon?
Yes, he does. He gets them the same way as he does. This is actually really important. A detail I've almost completely missed. So the Bulbasaur is at what's it called? At that little forest, and he is a guardian of it. And we actually get a special chapter explaining why he's the guardian. It had to do with some poachers and Team Rocket, some bad stuff. I will leave that to you for anyone who wants to read it. It was really well done. But because for all three of those, for actually almost every everyone in his team, there is a special chapter that explains, why they are the way they are. Then we have the Bulbasaur's nickname is Kohana, which is a Naruto reference, which I will get to in a moment about another thing that comes up. It's amazing. Then there's the Squirtle, which is part of the Squirtle gang, and
Squirtle Squad.
Squirtle,
Even
yes.
in canon, you kind of understand that one. Like they kind of they're in like the actual show, they kind of like push on. It's just like, oh, this is
kind of what happened.
This is why these guys are like this, or these Squirtles are like that.
And the author goes deeper into that. Then we have he's part of the Squirtle Squad. My bad. And his name is Coop. His nickname is Cooper. And then the one I liked most was Charmander. Shockingly enough, I know, because I'm not exactly a Charmander fan. It's a she.
You're not a fire type fan.
It's a she. Her name is Scorch, and she's a shiny. And she was found on that rock. No, she wasn't found on the rock. She was on the rock, but she went looking for Ash because she had heard about the Child of Mew that was in the area. Because I will go deeper into this one. Because she did have the same trainer as before, the asshole that left the original Charmander on the rock. She had the same one. But Scorch, she was smarter, and she actually makes a reference about her brother being the weak-willed one who would listen to anything. So her brother was actually the one that was caught in canon. And she was smarter than this. He was calling her... She didn't want to listen to him, so whenever he told her to use Ember, it'd be like especially weak, or she wouldn't put all this effort forward because she didn't respect him because he didn't respect her. She had a very no. She was very, I'm not dealing with you, sir.
She's me.
And he thought that since she was shiny, that she was sickly because she was a pale color because he was an idiot and didn't know anything.
Yeah.
But he said, wait on this rock, I'll be back for you. And she's like, good, all right, I know you're not coming back. I'll just sit here and wait for someone better to come along. And then she heard, I believe they were Pidgeys talking about the Child of Mew, so she just hops off and is like, all right, I'm gonna go look for someone. And she literally just storms herself into the picture and is like, I'm a be your Pokemon and you're gonna train me. She's very forward.
That's pretty cool.
I loved, shockingly enough, one of my favorite Pokemon is Scorch the Charmander, which I'm not a fire type fan.
And I know you were not a fire type person.
But to go back real quick, so as I said, Kohana is the Naruto reference. and I was thinking, I see a few more references here and there. There's a girl from the Hoenn region. Do you remember? I don't remember seeing this in the show because I don't think I got that far, or if I did, I don't remember. Do you remember in the game when you have to stop Team Rocket from getting the Master Ball in the Sylph Corporation?
Yes.
Yes, that comes up. I don't know if that happened in the show, but they have to infiltrate the what's it called? The Sylph Corporation to save it from Team Rocket. And there is a girl who was with them who was introduced, I think, like a chapter or two earlier. She is from the Hoenn region, and she's, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Professor Birch's daughter. And it's not May. Do you remember how in the game, if you play as a girl, Brendan is his son?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Brendan is her brother, but she's not May. Does that make sense?
Well, May is the daughter of the gym leader.
Well, yeah.
In the show.
Oh,
and it's not Professor Birch's daughter.
Oh, was it? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, yes. Professor, like in the show, Professor Birch, you don't really get more detail into his family, but May is not his daughter. May is actually the gym leader's daughter.
Norman? Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. Well, so this trainer's name is Abika, and she has a Ralts, a Torchic, a Trico, and a what's it called? A Mudkip. And I don't know too much about.
So I heard you like Kip.
Huh?
So I heard you like Mudkip.
Oh my god. Well, apparently I'm going to say that this that the author loved Mudkip most because of the fact that Mudkip is actually an extremely important character. He's actually in the Sabrina battle, like watching and giving Ash tips, like, "Yo, child, this is what you need to do." Because he is lazy but super smart. And I forgot what the character's name is in the show in Naruto, but he it's like everybody was calling him out because he says the Mudkip is troublesome a lot. I don't know. Did you ever see anything much about Naruto? Not enough to tell who this character is.
Maybe, like, lazy but smart?
Lazy but smart, always says troublesome, just groans a lot, seems like he can't be bothered.
Oh, I know who he is. He's, shoot, it's the guy who uses the shadows.
Then Torchic is Naruto, and literally, like, the first thing that, like, the Torchic says when it pops out, it says, "Believe it!" And I was like, yep, I know who that is.
Everyone who knows who that annoying brat is.
And the Ralts is the shy girl, the one with like the no pupils. Her name begins with an H. Do you remember what? I don't remember what her name is.
Anada.
There we go.
Anada.
And then Trico was acting too cool for himself. Who could that be?
There's a lot of people in there for that one. You gotta be more specific.
I'm pretty sure people can already guess who that is. Those two don't really show up too much. Actually, three of them. And then there's a what's it called? I almost forgot. There's a Puchiana, but he doesn't show up that much either. It's mostly about the Mudkip because, well, you know, you gotta like Mudkip. And it was really cool because of the fact that people.
Shikamaru. His name is Shikamaru.
Okay, that sounds about right. And so yes, if you've seen Naruto, there is Shikamaru the Mudkip, which actually gets his own backstory, like a special chapter of what made what he was like, what he went through, kind of thing. I think. Oh no, wait, no, was that, or was that not it? I know that there's a Mudkip for sure in Squirtle's story, but I don't know if that was the same one. I don't think it was. Never mind, ignore me.
I tried to, but you kind of just stay.
So let's see. There's actually what's really interesting is that we see that people are like, "Whoa, I've never seen that Pokemon before," and it's like, "Yeah, I'm from a different region," and you can see that there's like a disconnect still, like because since Ash hasn't gone there, that's been, I guess, since Ash is traveling around, and that's what unites the whole world or something. Dexter actually makes a comment, like super fourth wall breaky. That's like, well, you don't have the national Dex kind of thing, and it's like, what? And it's there's one whole section that's devoted to nothing but absolute wall breaking, and it was hilarious. Like, rest in peace, the fourth wall.
Was it worse? Is it worse whenever Deadpool gets a hold of the fourth wall?
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen too much about Deadpool.
Well, Deadpool, merch with a mouth, basically takes the fourth wall and goes, "Fuck you." The poor fourth wall is fucked so hard.
Oh,
when it comes to Deadpool.
There's something that I think you might like. I don't know if you might not. Do you remember the pink Butterfree?
Yes.
The pink Butterfree makes an appearance, and there's an explanation of why it's pink. The pink berry island that makes all the Pokemon pink was her explanation for why she looked like that. But she was actually looking for... This is actually, when, if I'm not mistaken, this is actually where we meet... Yeah, this is where we meet Apica. Is that the Butterfree was looking for a friend she made, which is a Beautifly, and the Beautifly was taken by Team Rocket for being a rare Pokemon, obviously, because, like, what is that thing?
Yeah, it's not from the same region,
Mm-hmm.
which in like everybody else hearing, or like in every Pokemon game it's basically, oh yeah, Kento, we've moved from Kento, or it's something about Kento, and it's just like, stop using Kento. Yes, it was the first one, but it's connected to Johto.
Vice really loves Johto.
I'm a Johto person. I'm a Cyndaquil person.
Now with Apica, the pink Butterfree, they actually find everything, and they resolve that issue, as you can guess. They actually have to fight Butch and Cassidy at a severe disadvantage because they have a Dragonite and a Charizard that are, like, unhumanly strong.
Like Pikachu should be?
Like Pikachu should be, but Pikachu is not, because Pikachu actually isn't OP in this story. I forgot to mention that, as I said before, Ash has Mew traveling alongside him and helping him train his Pokemon through really twisted Mew games. And when I saw that Mew was going to get traveling alongside Ash and the team, I was worried, oh great, here we go. Mew is going to fix everything. There's not going to be a single problem for Ash. But shockingly enough, Ash was mature enough to make the decision, hey, Mima, no, we're not doing that. I'm going to do this all on my own. And if I'm going to die, yeah, you can help me, but nothing short of that. Like, Mew does not help in any shape or form. Like, Ash does lose battles. He doesn't do, like, oh, this astounding way, because Mew is not allowed to interfere. And I was like, yay, props to you, author, for developing that wonderfully.
So Ash is basically over here going, hey, back off.
Ash is actually capable and smart in this story.
Unlike canon.
Now, back to the Butterfree. Remember how in the original story it was like a really sad scene that Butterfree went with the other Butterfree to fly away?
Mm-hmm.
That is not what happens here. Brock actually catches this Butterfree, and then it's sent back to Professor Oak, and then Butterfree is sent back to Professor Oak so they can hang out for as long as they want, and Butterfree is still available to Ash if he ever needs her, or him.
Alright, here's where canon comes in. Anyway.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I'm done hearing you talk.
Oh my god. Wasn't even close to done.
One of the, one thing that I have a problem with is whenever I start reading stuff, and it's basically follows right beside canon and stuff like that, it is so hard for me to read it because it's basically, oh yeah, I'm just watching something I don't want to re-watch. It's a big problem I have. I don't plan on fixing it. Anyway.
Will not apologize.
I'm not going to apologize for that. Anyway, from what I read, yeah, it's good. Like, I like the different details in it, stuff like that. But the thing is, with that Butterfree was someone's Pokemon in the show.
Was it?
It was someone's Pokemon. It was like a natural thing that they did. Like, they would have their Butterfrees go out, the Butterfrees would all go together and go, but before that, it was someone's Pokemon. Because remember the scarf, or no, not...
I thought...
Yeah, it was someone's Pokemon. They were up in the blimp and they were...
I thought Ash's Butterfree was the one with the scarf to show off, like, hey, you look good.
Yeah, Ash's was the one with the scarf, but this Butterfree was someone's Butterfree. Like, I think at a certain point, yes, they released them, but during this time, this was still someone's Butterfree.
Was it really?
Unless they released it beforehand and I'm not remembering correctly, but I remember it was someone's Butterfree. Like, you don't remember everybody in the blimps and, like, having their Butterfrees come out?
No, I don't, actually.
I'll find it and then just send it to you.
Comment below if it was someone's Butterfree, because I thought it wasn't. I thought the whole time that it was a wild Butterfree.
No, like, it was someone's Butterfree beforehand. Like, I think they might have released it in the in the show for the mating season and stuff like that. But again, it was someone's Butterfree. That is one of the episodes I do remember from the old Pokemon.
Huh. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
No matter what story you write, you will always have people who just like go, wait a second.
Yes, I just don't remember this at all being that way.
Anyway, you can continue to do stuff while I go find shit.
Okay. Now, one thing I will say, so I know I'm jumping around a lot, and please forgive me, author, for Lucario Master 41. If it seems like I'm kind of out of it, there was just a lot, and my notes aren't exactly very good. I'm not very good at doing that. Now, let's see. Well, I guess since we're talking about canon, I can go to the stuff that is like completely like anti-canon. I swear. The last chapters of the story, as I said before, are like completely wildly out there. Like I'm talking like some next level stuff. And the last chapter, like the very last chapter, it's 4 chapters in one. And I remember something. This is actually a critique of mine. When I was reading it, it seemed like there was a sudden jump in the story style. Like before, there was some legit like, oh yeah, this could be dangerous kind of thing. They were sent even back in time to war kind of thing, and you could see there was a darkening of the story as it progressed. But the last chapter, there was just something about it that just seemed different, and I think it has something to do with the fact that they actually had taken on a co-author to help them with this, with the last chapters, because they were like, I'm losing motivation, I'm losing ideas, I need to take a break. Here's the last hurrah before I take a break for some time to write my sequel. And I feel like that's something that you should be worried about. This is just a general thing. If you're gonna write with another person or people, you need to make sure that your styles are able to go together well, and that you are on the same page with ideas to make sure that there doesn't seem like a sudden jump like I feel like there was. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe this is how the authors had completely planned it to go, but there was just something that did not sit right with me at the last chapter. And it wasn't the fact that, yes, we get this new mysterious trainer. It was, I don't know, something about the last battle just seemed very different, just not in the sense of the way the author was writing. And the author writes battle scenes. I don't know why they were being so hard against themselves. They wrote it great. I loved their battle scenes. That was one thing I was looking forward to the next battle scene because of the fact that it was so well written.
They wrote it so well.
I know some people, apparently they made an author's note about it, like, sorry about all these weird battle scenes. I know some people don't like it. And I'm like, who said this? Who is lying to you? Because this is a good thing.
Reason will fight on your behalf.
I will argue to the T about everything, except for that last one, which was odd. But I will mention something about it. So it does change one big thing about canon, about Team Rocket, but I won't tell you what it is, except the fact that it's like, what the fuck? That's what I had to take a moment and like look down at my phone while I was reading, and I was like, yep, wow, that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We actually see that there is actually Ash actually has to battle a Oshawott that takes out like half his team before the guy snaps his fingers and makes it evolve like on command, and then that was even more like impossible to beat. Like it took everything he had to take down one single Pokemon. And that was like one of his weaker ones. And the guy was like obsessed with knowing like, why did Mew choose you? And Ash has to constantly say, no, I'm not Mew's child, because there's an error like later on, like as you get deeper in the story, people are clearly looking for Mew, which is, which makes sense because
Yeah.
everybody wants Mew because it's
it's
super powerful. Oh, there is references to to Mewtwo in the story. I think that was one of the tags in that Ash is in Mewtwo's mind and having dreams about him. He actually sees himself in Mewtwo when he was in the lab when he was first made,
the cryo tube.
And he even like sees everything blow up and like super destructive. He has another dream where he's like the child Mewtwo. I don't remember what movie that was from, but there's a reference to that. And then one of the biggest and like most terrifying scenes was actually he sees his own death when he gets turned to stone, kind of thing. And even Mew is like freaked out because she's like, wait, I'm having these things too. You're not my child just yet. Why are you getting these kinds of things? And it's like slowly becoming, it's like you can see that Ash is slowly becoming more and more like Mew, because in the whole time, Mew does want Ash to become her true child. And at first, in the beginning, Ash is like, no, I don't want that. Yo, mom, Mima, no, thank you. But later on, like up to like the last like section, he's like actually like, okay, this is gonna be a thing, and it's not the worst thing in the world. But in the last chapter, he starts questioning why would Mew pick him. He's not worthy of it because of his really failed battle. Because his battle against this guy, he's also a child of another legendary who actually went through with the process to becoming more full Pokemon. And the guy is like pissed, like, why do you get this Pokemon who's even stronger than my Mima? It's like subtle. He doesn't actually say that out front because of the fact that the Pokemon who raised this new guy, because I'm not going to say who his name is. I'm not going to say who his name is. Don't die, yes. But I will say that this legendary Pokemon is the Gary to Ash's Mew kind of thing. Do you understand? Like, it's the perfect rival kind of thing. Do you know what I mean, Vice?
Yeah.
Mew hates this Pokemon because this other Pokemon is her rival. Now, I almost completely forgot to mention that Gary does show up in the canon and is just as big of a dick, just as much of a smartass as possible, but Ash could literally not care less. He was like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, bro, have fun with your 5 badges, have fun with that, go, just get out of here, I don't care. I was like so happy because the fact that part of it that I felt I did not like Ash in the main series was that he just gives Gary what he wants.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. Like, even Oak is like, well, Gary's caught this many Pokemon and has this many badges. And Ash was like, he tries to tell him, like, I don't care what Gary is doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. And even Oak's like, he's like, oh, nonsense. You can't be a good poet if you don't use rhymes, and you can't be a good you can't be a Pokemon trainer if you don't catch every Pokemon. And I mean, I get where he's going with that, but that's flawed logic.
Yeah, it's basically just like, no, you have to do this. And it's like, no.
Why? He's literally like, yo, I don't care what your stupid grandson is doing. I literally could not care less. It would be impossible for him to care less. Like, even Gary shows up like a few times to be like, he's like, look what I got. And he's like, okay, like, literally, like, it's like, what do you want me to do? Throw a party for you? Or... Because you know how in the original one, he, like, every time he would see anything with Gary, he'd, like, run after it like crazy. Yeah, this is what happened. And I'm like, yes, oh, that's a refreshing breath of fresh air. Because I didn't know how Gary was going to be in this story. And I'm so glad that he's not this overarching important character.
Yeah. Want to know what's something funny to me? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking up different stuff with the Butterfree episode.
Oh god!
And like a lot of Butterfrees are released like but it doesn't really the pink one. So again, I'm not all too much sure of how my memory does it. I might be wrong. Don't get used to that. I'm not going to quote that a lot.
I'll make it my ringtone.
Do not put it as your new ringtone. Reason. Anyway, so like I'm looking up at the different Butterfree things because I'm so stuck on this. But it's funny to me because of how the new Butterfrees are, the new Butterfrees are basically, oh, male looks like this, female looks like this with their wings.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at both of the Butterfrees on the thing, and they're both male. According to the new thing.
Oh no. Oh no. Butterfree's in for a big surprise.
Sorry, I got cut on. I got like stuck on that. Because like, there's a picture, and it goes, yes, a male Butterfree doesn't like, it has its markings and stuff like that. But the female Butterfree has like a solid black part of their wing. It's like the circle or something like that. And the pink Butterfree does not have that, and Ash's Butterfree does not have that either.
Oh no.
But again, this is before
the big male and female distinctions, but that's just such a funny thought to think, like, oh wait, no, I'm a dude. Oh. Okay.
I'm so tired.
Are you okay, Vice?
Anyway, continue on with what you were saying about...
Everything.
Are we even done?
Since we're hopping around so much, yes. I was actually going to get into one big critique I had, and it's more of a personal thing because of the fact that, she's not... Okay, my big thing, I've always seen Arceus as the bigger, badder, better one, personally. I know that technically it's 4th generation, or where was it in the beginning? And here's what I've seen, is that Arceus created the whole universe, and, like, everything, like, the land, the sea, all that kind of stuff, and Mew was the one that populated it. That's what I saw it as. In the author, they say that Mew created everything, and I'm just like, no, she didn't. That's just a me thing. I don't. As you can see, I'm salty about that. I'm real salty about not. I'm very particular about my about the Mew versus Arceus argument.
Who basically created and everything like that. But the thing
Aren't you on the Mew side of that argument, where you think Mew is the creator?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
The thing about it is, yeah, like Arceus, you can see Arceus creating all the other one, like the time and space Pokemon, and then creating Kyogre. My opinion, Kyogre and Deoxys created the ocean and the land.
You mean Kyogre and Groudon?
Kyogre and Groudon.
Actually, that's really important to bring up the use of Deoxys. That actually does make an appearance in this story, sort of.
Anyway, so, but in, like, the canons and, like, the different movies, you've actually seen, like, quite a few Mews. You could see, like, 3 on this thing.
Are you kidding me? 3 different Mews? I didn't know that.
2 to 3. Something like that, but you do. You see quite a bit. Just like you see, like, in the show, you see a Lugia with the baby Lugia. In the movie, you see a Lugia. Because you always have the regular Mews, but then you also have Shiny Mew.
Which actually Ash is, like, in his Mew form, because he gets turned into a Mew a few times. He is a shiny little blue Mew. It's funny.
And it's just like, the only one that you don't really see copies of is Arceus. Because, like, again, you have the first movie where you have Mew and Mewtwo, but then you also have, like, the Aurora, like, the movie with, like, Lucario and Aura and stuff like that, and you see a different Mew because it's not the same Mew that was around Mewtwo.
You don't think it could have been, or does it actually make a distinction that it's not the same one?
I think the thing is, wouldn't you think Ash would probably point that out? It's just like, hey, that's probably the Mew that's been around Mewtwo.
Yeah, you would
You
think. But then again,
you would
we might be
think
giving
that they
Ash
would
too much
point that shit
credit
out.
because Ash isn't exactly the smartest in the actual series.
He's not the shiniest Pokeball in the.
It's not in the batch. Yes.
If I had to say he was a Pokeball, I'd say he's the Prime Ball.
Okay. Anyways, before we keep crapping on Ash, well, that Ash, not this Ash, the other Ash, the canon Ash. This Ash should be canon because this Ash is so much better.
Yeah.
There was something I had an issue with is that whilst the character sent them back, while the author sent them back in time to deal with Yamato, which was the lover that died at war for the maiden of the Ghost Peak kind of thing, which I really liked. My issue is that I feel like they just made a big mistake saying that when they went to war, they were on boats, like they look like legit like wood boats kind of thing. It's the way they would seem to be described. And I was like, all right, this is cool. And I think they were fighting either for or against the region of the Pokemon Conquest series. And I haven't played that game, so I don't know anything about it. But they made references about linked Pokemon and other stuff like that I don't know too much about. But Team Rocket also went back in time, which they didn't say exactly how they did it and why they were there. Part of it was why they were there would be that if they disrupted a certain order of things, Team Rocket would end up having the world in their hands. But the thing that didn't sit right with me was that they went back 2,000 years ago and they were fighting with guns on both sides of the war. It's not like Team Rocket came back in time with guns and had it to like slaughter everyone. No, both sides had it, and I was like, and they had like the apricorn balls, and I'm like, but if they had that 2,000 years ago, why hasn't technology jumped forward so much more in the current time?
Yeah, and even within the canon of the games, like you can use the canon of the games and the anime, and you can like mix up the two for it. But in the canon of the games, even back then, they're just like, we have like no Pokeballs, we have no guns, we have no weapons like that.
Yeah, like what was it? The one where they go back in time for Celebi, when it's pretty obvious that the guy that they meet is Professor Oak.
Samuel.
Samuel. He's using an apricorn as a thing, but I'm just like, wait, that was like what, maybe 50, no, maybe like 60 years ago at the most, and I just didn't quite understand. I think it was mostly just like an oversight kind of thing of the technological level of what would be back then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Again, it wasn't that bad. I mean, because again, if they had worried, if they had like pulled out guns and used a bunch of Pokemon more often, I probably would making a bigger fit about it. But like literally, like it doesn't come in that much, so it wasn't that big of a deal. It's just something to consider. Like, oh wait, if 2,000 years ago there was this level of technology, why is it only jumped like maybe 50 years of advance in 2,000 years?
Mm-hmm.
And people can say, oh, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But that's not the human way. They want to always make everything better, kind of thing. Now, let's see. That wasn't. I mean, again, the story was great. It was really long. It was done well. Vice, as we know, didn't really like the whole thing. We're sticking to canon kind of thing because if you don't want to watch it again, why would you want to read it again?
And just getting past it is just a pain in my ass.
And Vice is not. And with what limited time you had, it was hard. Even I struggled, and I had way more time.
Mm-hmm. Are you done talking about the story now? reason?
I mean, I could keep
No,
going and
no,
going.
no answer about that. I'm cutting you off now.
Oh, okay. Has it been too long?
Say your last things about the story. In my opinion, it was good from what I've read.
Oh, no
I just
doubt.
don't.
No doubt it was a good story, but it's a committed read. It's an absolutely committed read if you have time. And, well, it is completed. And there's a sequel up, so if you, like, speed through it and want to go to the next one, you might. I don't know if we'll actually cover the sequel on this podcast series, even if somebody requests it, just because if it was anything like the last one, it's going to be too long, and we can't. I mean, I can't in the 2-week time frame kind of thing. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I can't be sure what's
like
going to
what
happen
we had to push it back to
to 4 weeks.
Yeah, we had to push it back to 4 weeks, and I couldn't even get it finished in time. And I'm the faster reader than you.
Yes, you are.
But anyway, yeah. So what in general, what we have read, it's actually a really good story with the.
I wish I could talk more, but there's just too many details to be able to concisely put it together. So I'm sorry if it seems a little scattered.
With the little bits and pieces that we said that are, again, our opinions on the bad and the good and stuff like that. Like, if you don't want to fix them, really, you don't have to. It's your story. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Really, it's just what we want to say. If somebody's listening to this and it's like, hey, I kind of like this idea, and then it's like, wait, they said this, and maybe it's like, I can take this advice of what they said. It's just a thing to help anyone who wants to possibly just look maybe at their own stuff a little differently, maybe. Just a different opinion.
Just if you ever do research about a story, because you need research, do not use Wikipedia.
Unless, of course, you're going to the actual wiki page of the show, like, you know, a Pokemon wiki, or like Bulbapedia for Pokemon, like that. That's more okay.
Yeah, but the thing about Wikipedia is that you can change that crap so fast. I've won arguments because I've changed it. I'm so
petty.
Petty, spiteful, salty. So many words to describe me. Anyway,
we need to get on to the next part of the story of the podcast, which is talking about the next story we're going to read.
But we'll have the description, or we'll have the not the description.
We'll have the links down below in the description.
That one. And with that, let's get on to the next story, which it's a Gravity Falls story.
Which I have never seen. I've seen like 2 episodes, so I'm like completely like, I'm going to be going in this like blind.
Hulu. So the next story is called Bill Cipher's Son. It's from Dipper Cipher 0. It's a 40 part.
Oh boy.
It does not look like it's combined.
Hopefully.
I don't know if it has... I don't know if it has author's notes, and I really don't want to find out if it does. Anyway, so here's the description, here's the summary, and we will have our opinion. Bill Cipher wanted someone to care for and share his knowledge with, just between the two of them. But Bill never wanted a lover. Being a demon was an advantage because they were a mix of both genders.
Oh my.
Then when it's almost time for the baby to come, Stanford enters and banishes Bill into a deep place in the mind space. After the banishment, the counter hatches and a baby is born. So Stanford gives the demon child to his relatives to care for, along with their newborn baby girl to be raised human.
Dipper and Mabel's first summer is is almost about to end. But Dipper shines some black light over Bill's page and finds out he has a son. With emotions of betrayal and distrust lingering on him, how will he handle what's to come? Now that Bill's back and he wants his son no matter what, and Bill has a way of knowing where he is, join them for a life of fun and conflict. Disclaimer, I do not own Gravity Falls, or the pics, or music. P.S. This is a boy-ex-boy relationship in here. Leave now if you don't like. Under cleaning at the moment.
Yeah.
Yowie. Hey, it's the first Yowie story. Possibly.
Is it? Oh, if you don't count Hollow Pasta.
Oh, right, my bad.
But
Let's
we
see.
kind of count that.
The tags are as such: completed, alternate universes, Bill Cipher, child, deals, demons, Dipper, family, Fez, glasses, Gravity Falls, Mabel, Pines, Pine Tree, reverse Dipper X Dipper Pines. Reverse Dipper?
What?
Reverse Dipper? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's where basically Dipper and Mabel, or the reverse ones, are like Gideon.
And that's the crazy little thing, right? The little, like, pig man?
Yeah.
There's also reverse Mabel and Mabel Pines.
So it's not just boy ex boy, it's also girl ex girl, it seems like. Shooting Star, Stanford Stanley, the Mind Space, and
The Mystery
the
Shack.
Mystery Shack.
So yeah, I don't know anything about Gravity Falls, short of that I know that there is an evil Dorito.
I'm actually looking forward to this one, mostly because I want to see what they do. For one thing, if Dipper is Bill's son, then that means Mabel and Dipper are no longer twins.
Right.
In it. So it's just like, I want to see what actually they're going to do with it.
I like that they did say that there's alternate universes. This is an AU, people. You can't get mad at them. It's an AU.
Yeah. And then again, they did have a disclaimer. They didn't do anything like that. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward. My thoughts of what's going to happen is probably it might have like some stuff to go with the canon on how he finds the journal, like some of the adventures they have. But again, whenever he shines the black light over the page, and then it's just like, oh, son, it might mess with his head, and it's just like, ooh, I might be the son, or he's going to try to find the son, or, and then secrets revealed because Gravity Falls.
This is going to be interesting. I'm going to hopefully know more about the story. Like, I'll be like, oh, what does this mean? And I, like, look it up and be like, okay, now I understand a little better. Because I know Vice sent me a few videos about stuff, but I was like, I already knew this. It was like a general broad paint of the story, and I'm like, yeah, I knew this was all happening, but I didn't know any, like, nuances, so I'm probably going to be struggling.
Reason is basically flying blind in this one, and that's what's going to be fun about next podcast in 2 weeks.
Yes, hopefully next Monday, not next Monday, but the Monday after the next, we'll have our episode up.
Our next Monday is going to be our other
podcast, which if you haven't checked out, you should, because it's down below in the description bar. So hopefully whoever's watching, it's like, hey, I want to see what else they have to say. Click.
The last episode we've done was about conventions.
And there was, that's part 1, and you'll see why it was part 1.
Technical difficulty.
Ooh, luckily there weren't that many this episode, so yes, perfect. So with that, I will say, I think that's a good way to end the episode now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so...
I'm Vice.
And I'm Reason.
And that ends
the AniVid Fanfiction Book Club.
Bye, everyone.
See you in 2 weeks.